You're listening to a quiet story for late nights. Nothing loud. Nothing sudden. Just something a little off. If you're driving, maybe save this for later. If you're trying to sleep, you don't have to finish it. This is just something that happened. When I worked nights. I work nights because it's easier than days. That's the short version. I don't like crowds. I don't like small talk. And at night, nobody expects much from you. The place is a 24-hour storage facility just off the highway. Not the clean new kind. The older kind. Metal doors. Long rows. Lights that buzz even when they're not flickering. My shift starts at 11 and ends at 7. I sit behind a desk that wobbles a little if you lean on it wrong. The computer takes a minute to wake up. Sometimes longer. Most nights nothing happens. That's why I took the job. Around 1 in the morning the quiet settles in. Not peaceful. Just empty. There's a digital clock over the front door. Red numbers. Easy to see from anywhere in the office. I look at it a lot, mostly to make sure time is still moving. The first night anything felt strange, the clock blinked. Just once. Like it lost power and came back. I didn't think much of it. This building's old. The wiring's bad. Stuff like that happens. Still, I wrote it in the maintenance log. Out of habit. A little after 2 I checked the security cameras. There are 12 of them. All lined up on one screen behind the desk. Camera 6 covers the side gate. It was tilted. Just slightly. I know I fixed it earlier. That mount never stays tight. I remember adjusting it before midnight. I stared at the screen longer than I needed to. Not scared. Just confused. I adjusted it again and went back to my chair. Around 3 a car passed the front gate. Old sedan. Dark color. So, that happens all the time. People miss the turn. 10 minutes later the same car passed again. Same speed. Didn't stop. By the third time I noticed my shoulders were tense. I told myself to relax. Somewhere around then the clock said 3:17. I know because I checked it before standing up. I went to the restroom. Took maybe 2 minutes. When I came back the clock said 3:11. I checked my phone. 3:19. The clock blinked once and corrected itself. I laughed quietly. Mostly at myself. Round 4 someone came in. A woman, I think. She stood just inside the door. Didn't come up to the desk. Didn't say anything. I asked if she needed help. She didn't answer. I waited. She didn't move. I remember noticing her shoes. Clean. Flat. Like she hadn't walked far. After a while she turned and walked out. The door didn't beep. The entry log didn't show anyone coming in. By morning, everything felt normal again. Too normal. I didn't quit. I came back the next night. Like nothing happened. That's the thing about night jobs. You tell yourself everything's normal because it usually is. Same desk. Same chair that leans a little to the left. Same smell of dust and old cardboard. I clocked in at 11. Day shift left early. They always do. The clock over the door was working fine. I checked it on purpose this time. 11:42. I remember thinking I should stop paying attention to small stuff. That's how you freak yourself out. The first few hours were quiet. No cars. No walk-ins. Around 1:30 the side gate camera froze. Not fully black. Just stuck. The image didn't glitch or pixel out. It just stopped moving. I tapped the screen with my finger like that would help. It didn't. I waited. After maybe 30 seconds it started again. Same angle. Same view. I told myself the system was old. Because it is. 2 I did a walkthrough. The hallway lights hummed like always. Metal doors lined up on both sides. Some dented. Some clean. Unit B17 was unlocked. I know it was locked earlier. I remember closing it because the latch sticks. I stood there for a second holding the handle. Nothing inside looked touched. No boxes moved. No dust disturbed. I locked it again and wrote it down. When I got back to the office the clock said 2:08. I sat down. 5 minutes later it said 2:08 again. I stared at it longer this time. Didn't blink. Didn't flicker. Just stayed there. My phone said 2:14. I didn't laugh this time. Round 3 the car came back. Same one. Slow. This time it stopped outside the gate. Headlights on. Engine running. I watched it through the front window. Didn't move. I waited for someone to get out. No one did. After a while, the headlights turned off. The car stayed. I checked the camera feed. The screen showed an empty driveway. No car. I looked back through the window. Still there. I didn't get up. I don't know why. I just stayed in my chair. After maybe a minute, the headlights turned back on. The car pulled away like it had never stopped. Around 4, the woman came back. Same shoes. Same stillness. She stood closer to the desk this time. I asked if she needed something. She didn't answer. I could see her breathing. Slow. Steady. I asked her name. Nothing. I asked if she was looking for a unit. She tilted her head just a little. That's it. No words. After a long moment, she turned and walked toward the hallway. I told her staff wasn't allowed past the office desk. He kept walking. I didn't follow her right away. I should have. But I didn't. When I reached the hallway, she was gone. No doors open. No footsteps. Unit B17 was unlocked again. I locked it. My hands were shaking, but not in a panic way. More like when you're tired and cold. I went back to the desk. The clock said 3:17. I didn't check my phone. When the sun came up, everything felt flat. Like the building had exhaled. Day shift showed up. Asked if it was quiet. I said yeah. I went home and slept for 12 hours. That night I didn't want to go back. But I did. The third night felt different before anything happened. I noticed it as soon as I walked in. The air felt stale. Like it had been sitting too long. The clock over the door said 11:11. I remember that because it stood out. I unlocked the office. Turned on the lights. Sat down. Nothing happened for a while. That was almost worse. Around 1, the cameras were all working. Every angle fine. Every feed moving. I didn't relax. 2, I checked the maintenance log. My notes were still there. About the clock. About B17. Someone had added a line underneath mine. No name. Just a time stamp from 3:17. It said, door was already open. I stared at it for a long time. 3, the car came back. It didn't drive past this time. It parked. Right outside the gate. I watched through the window. The driver's door opened. No one got out. It stayed open. I waited for the dome light to come on. It didn't. The camera feed showed nothing. Just empty pavement. I didn't move. At 3:17 the clock blinked. The lights in the hallway dimmed for a second. Not off. Just lower. I heard a door close somewhere inside the building. Metal. Slow. I stood up. Unit B17 was unlocked again. The door was open this time. Just a few inches. I could see inside. Nothing looked different. No movement. No sound. I said hello. My voice sounded small. Something shifted inside the unit. Not stepping. Just adjusting. I didn't go closer. Behind me I felt it. Someone standing too close. I didn't turn around. I didn't need to. I knew it was her. She didn't breathe this time. The hallway lights buzzed. The clock started blinking faster. Not changing numbers. Just blinking. I whispered that the shift was almost over. That's when she spoke. Just once. He said my name. The way someone does when they've been saying it for a long time already. I left. I didn't clock out. Didn't lock the door. Didn't look back. I didn't work another night shift after that. They called a few times. Left messages. One voicemail came in at 3:17 a.m. It was silent. But I could hear the clock. Blinking.